Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
According to Larry David, yesterday was the last day you're allowed to say it.
Yeah, that's his famous episode.
Well,
But,
we're breaking the rules. I mean, look, we haven't talked to our Kathys since the New Year, so I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine. And I think realistically, because of the date that New Year fell on and that people didn't see each other, I think you got one or two more days.
I know we have so much news to get through, but I'm curious, just from a business perspective, how many Happy New Years did you guys get?
Not that many.
Like
Really?
people we work with, not that many. No,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I feel like this year, the way it fell, like people checked out like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And they weren't even, I mean, I got some gifts from like vendors and people we work with, but
Yeah, same.
everyone was pretty crickets.
Yeah. I got, a handful. I got more Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas is back.
Merry Christmas back. I didn't get no happy holidays.
Yeah.
What about Thanksgiving? That's a big one. Everyone sends happy Thanksgiving.
I'm like a pretty bad texter. Generally, like, if you say happy Thanksgiving to me, I'm saying you too.
Right.
Not even TG?
No. And it's not that I don't care. It's just I don't have the energy for it. I do. If I saw them in person, I would give them a big, warm greeting. But I'm not a good texter. I suck.
Yeah, I get yelled at for that a lot too.
Yeah. I'm a K.
Yeah. You're worse than me. You're a K. You're a ha. You know what's the worst? Is ha.
I'm a ha and a lol.
H-A.
Yeah.
Because I know you enough to know that that's a perfectly normal response, that you think something is funny. But with anyone else, ha is like.
Yeah. Someone said good. One time I said that to them and then they were like, I'm just going to go fuck myself.
Yeah. Ha is go fuck yourself.
Anyone under 30, ha is fuck yourself for sure.
But I'm telling 30 to 50 people a week to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, it was pretty mellow though. I think, I don't know why. I don't have an explanation, but I feel like the only explanation I have is on years like this year where both holidays fall in the middle of the week, it feels like everyone's just out for a long time. Like even if you come back for 3 days in between, I think you have a little bit more sense of like connection to the work world. But this time I feel like everyone checked out.
I also think not on the Happy New Year kind of just the greeting of it. I also think like one of the things that I've noticed with the shift of kind of general doubt in media and just questioning everything.
Yeah.
You kind of like don't want to put too much out into the universe because you question the authenticity of it. Right?
Like if you put what out into the universe?
Like if you send 7,000 people Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I think the people on the other side are like, I'm just one of the 7,000 people you wish Happy New Year. Go fuck yourself. Right. Like I think everyone questions everything. And so you're just like, oh, you're one of those guys that just wish everyone Happy New Year.
You're saying they're questioning the motivation of why they sent it.
Yeah. I have communications with people. They only wish me Happy New Year and they only wish me happy birthday. And I consider them my friend. If I saw them, I would spend time with them. But like our only communication is either like happy birthday, Happy New Year.
I have so many texts that man, I hate that. Because I really made it a point a year and a half, 2 years ago to get better at like putting people's birthdays in my calendar. So there's a lot of people whose birthdays I have in my, people we used to work with or whatever that I'll send a message to, but literally the last message was happy birthday the year before. And
that's a lot.
I hesitate to send.
Yeah, that's funny.
But
while we were gone, there was some unbelievable news.
I mean, it's amazing how, I'm not recommending we do this often, but at the rate of news and the way that the type of news we talk about, if you go away for 2 weeks, I mean, we're in an avalanche right now. So I don't even know. This might be a 3-hour episode.
the thing that like I was most surprised about in the time we were gone, and I'm actually glad we didn't record, because every day that went by, the story just got so much more interesting.
Yeah.
So whether it was what happened, unfortunately, in New Orleans or Las Vegas, or with the H-1B visas, or, you know, whatever the big topics of the last couple of weeks were, like day one, everyone had some feeling. Day two, they had another. By day 7, it was batshit crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I just saw that these attacks are, I didn't get into it yet, but like there's a full tinfoil hat view on these attacks.
You know, the most striking thing for me is that, and I was at a birthday with someone who works for a big think tank that's liberal leaning.
Mm-hmm.
And they said there's a horseshoe effect. So basically because I was saying on Twitter, the far left is buying into conspiracy. The far right is buying into conspiracy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the first time I've seen that both sides are buying into the conspiracy.
Yeah.
And apparently this think tank is like, yeah, that's what's happening now. It's like a horseshoe of like these extreme views on both sides just go meet in the middle.
Yeah. The first I saw was
extreme anymore.
Well, that's true too.
Look, if you look at what happened specifically in Las Vegas with whoever puts a bomb in a Cybertruck, complete fucking idiot.
Right.
That's the start. I mean,
Like
it's literally the most indestructible car ever built.
So I've seen every conspiracy theory, and I'm sure everyone in the audience has as well. I just want to know who's behind it and why, if you believe into it.
Yeah, I didn't do enough research. Did you go tinfoil hat, D?
I did research on every theory, but no one had the connecting dot to the theory.
Yeah, because it's just the beginning of the psyop.
Yeah,
the beginning.
Did you see the Sean Ryan thing by any chance?
Yeah. I saw that. I mean, that went viral. So can you explain it? Sean Ryan has CIA podcast?
Actually, to be honest, you should explain. I was going to ask you. I just saw that he released like an email that he got, and then he like went into hiding. I mean,
it was basically the alleged manifesto of the soldier that detonated himself.
But didn't he tie in like the drones in New Jersey and stuff?
Yeah, he basically said that drones are either US or China, and that they have abilities to weaponize those drones. That was the manifesto. But how does that tie into who's killing him and why?
The drones. We know the drones are bad news. He discovered it. They'd off his ass.
But which side?
What do you mean, what side? There's nothing to do with. Do you think Republicans and Democrats have any power?
I'm saying U.S. or China. Who killed him?
U.S.
U.S.
China's nothing. China's a joke. They have Temu. That's all they have going for them. They have nothing. I'm not impressed by China anymore. I'm with Zohan. They have nothing.
Right.
The clown show over there. They're imploding. They're all back in hospitals now with some fake pandemic they have.
Right. Hey, also, wasn't there some connection between the LA or the Vegas and the New Orleans?
Well, they were both from Fort Bragg
at the same time, though, right? They had an interlapping time.
So
that Fort Bragg also has like 1,500 soldiers.
Right.
So
but
it's
I mean,
not like it's not like they were working at Young and Reckless and we're all in the office together.
But still, 1,500 is nothing. 1,500. By the way, 1,500 is nothing.
We're also not talking about two guys who started a podcast. Like, it's two guys who did like a terrorist attack. It's just, if there's any connection, I feel like it's interesting.
If you want to Occam's razor, this is that military vets, a handful of them have PTSD and go off the rails. That's the obvious answer.
Yeah.
But the conspiracy is because of where we are in social media.
And how they did it. I think that's the bigger issue. Like
you're mentally ill and...
So you don't think the New Orleans guy was radicalized and all the ISIS references, that's all fake? That's nothing to do with PTSD?
I think PTSD can get you there.
I think he went on online and got radicalized. That happens.
But
that happens to a lot of people.
It does, but to be able to actually do the act, you probably have to have something off mentally.
Yeah, a lot of people have stuff off mentally.
Yeah, but
Right.
these guys were in combat.
So I think like the Las Vegas guy's actions feel like PTSD. Like it was just chaotic what he did. This guy in New Orleans, he had an intention. He wanted to hurt people.
Yes, that's correct.
He wanted to kill innocent people. He wanted to make his mark that way. That was his intention. So to me, like the Las Vegas one feels more like PTSD. The New Orleans situation feels like someone that got radicalized and was basically manipulated into doing something horrific.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think both descriptions probably check out. And I think both descriptions also check out with the New Orleans guy going through war. Maybe he regrets what he did when he was deployed and got radicalized. That could also be true.
Yeah. I mean, it potentially could be the case.
But everyone wants the psyops. That's
Right.
like the hot thing on Twitter.
Because it happens all the time.
Right.
It's not like all these things that everyone said was bullshit is all real. Even given tomorrow's January 6th, Congress released last week, the FBI was putting fucking pipes in places. The FBI was complicit.
That's the problem.
The FBI, everyone said January 6th is the worst day in American history. And we were a part of it.
Yeah.
Our government participated in the stupidity of it.
Have you seen the TikTok clip of that ex-CIA agent drama? I don't know if D would have.
The woman
Yeah, the woman.
talking about how they're planning attacks and stuff.
Yeah, so there's an
That
ex-CIA
was Sean
agent.
Ryan's show too.
That's Sean Ryan's podcast.
Yeah.
That guy's just crushing the tinfoil, man.
And so this woman who's an ex-CIA agent says that over 1,000 Al-Qaeda trained terrorists are in the country that have been
Radicalized, huh?
no, they came in radicalized.
Yeah.
They've been trained.
They were
Trained for a
trained.
So
specific.
it's too late now. They're in
Yeah.
the system.
And she's claiming 50 to 60,000 Americans dead in 2025.
I mean,
That's going to be World War III.
But those could also be different things. Like they could be a series of attacks. They could be something that happens in like New Orleans in New York at the same time.
Not to minimize what happened in New Orleans, like I think it's 14 dead.
Yeah.
I believe something around that number, which is still obviously very tragic. How do you get to 50 to 60,000?
Well,
World Trade Center was 3,400, I believe.
right.
Yeah.
You're totally right. But I do think the one thing that she brought up too, like I almost don't even want to say this because it's so crazy, but like she brought up that we have never seen domestically like suicide bombers.
Yeah, I heard her thing.
And so my point is, if all of these people cross the border, even if her numbers are off, some of them obviously had to have. And if you had a suicide vest in a crowded place, which would be very easy to pull off.
oh God, that's just so scary.
Yeah, like I don't even want to say it, but it's like how that feels to me
here's a psyop.
very easy.
You start sharing this information everywhere, everyone stops going everywhere. You think people want to go to crowded places with the threat of... We're not like in Israel where these cities
They've
get
lived with it.
and they don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, if I die, I die. They're a different breed of people.
I will say the Golden Globes at the Beverly Hills Hilton,
Yeah.
which is Wilshire and
Santa Monica.
And it was military lockdown.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
drove
you
by
saw
there
it.
earlier today. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually went running with the run club on Saturday. It was already locked down. They had already closed the fucking street
Oh, wow.
on Saturday
What's funny
morning.
is, because I had that woman's podcast in my head. When I saw the Golden Globes, I was like, ooh, that feels risky. That feels like one of those events, because now,
yeah.
like Super Bowl, I don't know. I think about all that shit.
Yeah, I genuinely used to be a person, go where the crowd is and, like, well, let's go through here and go to this party and go to these events. And I've gotten more and more cautious with children specifically.
Yeah.
That it's just not worth it. And I think a lot of people have that feeling. I think specifically with kids. I think if you're young and whatever, you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I think hearing something like that, and even that there's a possibility of something happening, obviously is very scary. And I think what will happen is that obviously security will get kicked up in a lot of places dramatically this year. And then, I think I don't have faith in the FBI after seeing them plant pipes, but I do have faith in the CIA that they will do what they do best, which is invade privacy and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Right.
Get to your TikTok account.
Yeah, whatever. They're going to figure out quick who's getting radicalized. And like, here's the thing that I think we have to seriously think about as a country. And I think what's happening all over the world is it's a harsh reality that a lot of stereotypes have been playing out recently. And whether it's the stabbings in New York City subways, whether it's the gang rapes in England, there's a lot of serious stereotypes.
But then also all the school shootings were white guys.
Yeah. But those are stereotypes too, right?
That's a valid stereotype. You see a guy with a trench coat, white guy with a trench coat walking near a school.
Yeah, but so like I'm saying, it's like whether it's a white guy with a trench coat or this guy in the subway or that guy do we care if people are racial profile, but we're all safer? I do not care.
I think after 9/11, we all gave up all our rights. The Patriot Act did it.
So I
don't think there's any more we can give up.
No, I think there's more. Of course. I think there's always more. Look what's happening in New York City subways. That's fucking crazy.
A woman got set on fire.
And then the other person got pushed. I saw a picture
by the way,
on the way over here. I was on Twitter and they showed a picture of this New York subway and everyone was standing by the wall in the back so that no one could come and push them. And the thing with the New York subway system is that it's not just, it's rich people, poor people, middle-class people, all are in the subway.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so much scarier.
The traffic is so crazy.
Well, they added a congestion tax as of today.
Yeah, on Lyft and Uber. Yeah.
On all cars coming into Manhattan. And there's surge pricing on when you come in.
Yep.
And so that's going to force people to take the subways. People don't feel like I'll give you this. I work with a lot of Orthodox Jewish people. They do not ride the fucking subway. Zero.
You don't either.
I do. I do. I literally take the subway now.
You never used to. This must be new.
Yeah, the traffic's too bad. But now I'm not gonna. After what I saw last week, I don't want to be on fucking TikTok about the guy that got fucking shoved in the
that
train.
Would be the worst.
Boost our ratings.
You get shoved onto a train track.
We might actually become the number one podcast in the world.
No, I'm good. You'll never. I mean,
we might have to. That could be our psyop. We could fake it.
Yeah, but like it doesn't like. I know, like I was saying, Orthodox Jewish people I know that don't take the subway because they don't feel safe being Jewish in the subway system, right? Like that's already happening. You start seeing people get set on fire and stuff. This is like the busiest transportation area in America, right? Like New York City subway system. I think the psyop could be you want to get more control of your people, create enormous amounts of fear. And like after 9/11, I always got stopped at the airport. I flew 1 month after 9/11 to New York City. Obviously, I got stopped. I felt safe doing it. I was like, you know what? As long as you're stopping everyone else that looks like me, I'm good with it.
Right.
I just don't want to be the only one getting stopped. As long as every brown person's getting stopped, I was okay with it.
It's just funny to me that it's the wrong brown person. Like it's the wrong... I know that everyone did that.
I know what you're saying.
Like I know that everyone stereotyped Indian people, but like you missed.
Yeah.
You chose the wrong.
But here's the thing.
The worst part about 9/11 and I'm going to try to do this as sensitive as possible, is that Punjabi Indians wear the turban.
Yeah.
And they're instant. Not Islamic.
Yep.
And everyone wanted to be prejudiced against Muslims.
Yep.
And they were getting the most hate.
That's what I'm saying, man. They missed the mark. Like they didn't know who they were looking for.
Yeah, well, I think they're a lot more sophisticated now. At that time we were early on in,
You know what's funny is now I know a girl that has a very Muslim name, and she still gets pulled every time at the airport.
Yeah.
Because her name is she just has a very, very Muslim name, and they flag her every time still.
I've been internationally with one of our mutual, very close friends who has a Muslim name.
Yeah.
That's not Muslim. He gets stopped and interrogated.
Yeah. And by the way, if you walked into any other country, that is what fucking happens.
Yeah.
They're interrogating the shit out of you. Right?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, D, that you ask. Like,
what is your safety worth? Like, everyone's, I think we were the most hypersensitive around racism a year ago.
That's over.
2 years ago. I think today, if you look at the idea of what is best for our country, things will have to change.
Do you think, here's the psyops that I am just thinking about out loud. I didn't think about this before the pod, but now that we're all talking about it. So Elon runs the biggest news platform in the world.
Yes. He's the media.
He's the media. He's obviously, number 2 to Trump. It's not JD Vance, it's Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Is he accelerating all of this to get policy done how they want to do it? Because now everyone's just seeing this. Because if you go on Twitter, it looks like America is falling apart.
Right.
Well, I mean, look, it's not under the Trump administration that these attacks happened.
I understand, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Leading into it, then they play hero ball.
Yeah.
And they change all the policies. And it's similar to what Bush was able to do post 9/11, Bush and Cheney with the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they used it to go to war. I don't think these guys are going to go to war.
No, they used it to get the defense contracts and put money in their homies' pockets.
Yeah, they wanted to go to war though. They had a bone to pick in the Middle East. That was very different.
They went to war to put money in their friends' pockets.
Yeah. Of course. It's always about money. I just think
because everyone in Monday Morning Quarterback, all the intelligence was fake.
Yeah.
That's for the record, I believe that's the exact, when we really look at it at 10 years from now, I believe that's the exact same thing that is happening currently in Ukraine.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it's Occam's razor is whatever you said it is. It's bullshit. There's an ulterior motive.
No,
I don't think we just had
PTSD.
No, I think the Occam's razors, they have an agenda. You have the biggest media platform run by the president effectively, because whatever he tells Elon's going to push and make the most viral. Then the policy changes. And then you can say, stop immigration, deport people. You can do all these things.
Yeah.
Racial profile, everything.
Yeah. So because
Guess
I'm
what?
such a
I
fan
think at this point, you got support for that. You're going to get full support for it.
That's my point. But I think it's a coordinated kind of thing.
Because I like tinfoil so much, I'm not going to maybe I think it's possible. And I definitely want us all to share our conspiracy theories openly on this pod. I'll just say my opinion is after what Elon did with the Twitter files and showing that they were boosting and throttling certain content when they said they didn't, if he did that, that would be wild. I don't want to be too Elon friendly that I think, he would never do that. But to come in and expose all of that and say that Twitter actually reflects the real conversation when you don't edit it, and then to start sort of throttling or putting his thumb on the scale would be very bold, but could be possible. I mean,
he also believes the world's a simulation. This is the best part of the simulation. You control the world.
Right.
Because if I look at my following page and my For You, it's wildly different.
Yeah, that's the algorithm.
The For You is just
Guess
The
what? It's
world
working.
But that's how
burning down.
TikTok is, for me.
Yeah.
No, I agree, but that's my point. To what you just said, Drama,
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, but to be
He's
honest with
thumbing
you,
the scale.
I don't think TikTok. Okay, to be honest, my honest opinion today, I don't think TikTok is thumbing the scale to like mess up American culture or to do anything. I think what TikTok is doing is simply allowing the most viewed, most viral content to rise to the top. I think in their country, they filter it and they don't let girls just with their butt in the screen for 2 minutes, just play over and over and over. But for America, they don't care. I think it genuinely is the most viral content. And I think that's what Twitter is doing too. I don't think it's a thumb.
Yeah, because it's most entertaining.
So there's a woman on Twitter. Her name's Tiffany Fong. I don't know if you guys have seen her
Yeah,
tweets.
Yeah, I've seen her. Yeah.
And there was a dissection of all her tweets, and Elon responds to all of them. And I don't know if they know each other or if this is a digital like relationship.
Yeah.
She's now the highest paid paid person on X.
That's a way.
Yeah.
He can definitely thumb the scale that way.
Yeah, if
You're
he
right.
comments on your shit and millions of people see
And
it.
it's literally like hundreds of tweets.
Yeah, so he
responding.
just maybe.
And
That's
because he's the
definitely a way.
most followed person, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
way.
fine. Yeah, that's okay. You could do that.
That's definitely a way.
Think
But
she's
I think
cute,
to me, I would
comment on a
compare
bitch.
that to like the White House press secretary dodging and weaving and
I know, but you're talking about Tiffany Fong, who's funny on X. She's funny. She's making racist jokes. She's not affecting policy or the way the country is run.
But I'm saying if he could do that to her,
Yeah, but
what
that's-
else do you think he can do
but
on
that's
the platform?
well, he can do anything. I just don't think. I think there's no way to not put a thumb on the scale one way or another. Meaning, like even those White House press briefings are a thumb on the scale.
yeah,
The mainstream media is
they're
a thumb.
diverting you.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
putting their thumb on their own little scale. It's more, would Elon mess with like the actual, like throttle certain content and promote other content? I don't know. I hope not. I don't think so. But yes, he can do it in that.
Well,
other
what's
way.
interesting is during that Christmas week, Indians were under attack,
Yeah.
big under attack.
During what?
Because of the there was a woman on X that came out and said Sri Ram Krishnan, who is now part of the Trump administration,
Yeah.
is
So
not
he's-
American,
He's part of the AI czar, so he's working for Saks.
and
Right.
he was not American. He originally had donated to Kamala, which is another Sri Ram Krishnan, not him. And basically, it stirred up this debate around H-1B visa Indians.
Yeah.
And it created a very tension-driven conversation between specifically technology people who have significantly benefited from H-1B visas, and then Americans who have no idea or they haven't benefited from it. So they're like, fuck this. Why are we letting Indians come in and take American jobs? And then a
Right.
lot of American engineers commented that I can't get a job and I came from Princeton or whatever. What I gathered from it is, because I got reached out to by a lot of people around this, what's my opinion on it? And originally my knee-jerk reaction was, no, we need the H-1B visas. They're good for America. These are skilled laborers that we are lacking in this country. And then when I started reading the points that pretty objective people were making, there is a salary discrepancy that big tech pays H-1B visa people versus their non-H-1B visa people. And that's where I see where that is an issue. I have an issue with that as an American company, where I do not think it's fair that Google and Tesla get to hire H-1B visa people. They get to take advantage of it. They know an H-1B visa person in America would take a lower paying job because they just want to work, put their head down, and be a productive member of society. And that's where I saw the biggest issue. The thing that I disagreed with very clearly is because the attack was specifically on Indian Americans. And I think it's important as a country, like we classify a whole segment of people as Asian and then another segment of people as South Asian. I can only speak to the Indian experience in this country. Indians in America generally have been a positive impact on the country. They are law-abiding. They've been a high income earner, high taxpayer. They've not caused problems. They've been a model citizen in America. And so I took more offense to that Indian Americans have not assimilated in America because I think that's not accurate. But then when I saw the data of big tech taking advantage of H-1B visa people and the salaries that they pay are lower than what they would pay like a naturalized American engineer, that's where I see everything in this conversation about like specifically the Trump situation. It's all nuanced. And if you don't look into the details, it's very easy to knee-jerk your reaction and say, they're racist, they're this.
So what I would say to that is then if that's actually the bone you want to pick, then you have to stop outsourcing engineers because that's what they've been doing.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Why? Because that Indian is making $50K in Bangalore or Chennai.
Not anymore. They're not.
It's max $75K.
Yeah.
I could tell you that for a fact because I have done a lot of business in this space. $75K max, come here, make 180, maybe the Stanford guy's 275.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the outsourcing because it's not taking an American person for the same job in America. In America.
No, but isn't it the same thing?
No.
They're basically saying all these companies that you're mentioning produce tens of billions of cash flow. So they rather just slice $75K off an American engineer, white, Indian, Asian, Hispanic, black, and then give it to an Indian in Bangalore.
I'm okay
for
with
half that.
I think that's
why
totally
would
fine.
you be okay with that?
Because it's not taking money directly.
That's directly taking.
I know, but that's a business. It's capitalism. We're not socialist. So
the H-1B, if the H-1B is willing to take a lower salary than an American engineer, that's capitalism.
That's fine. That's a loophole that the U.S. government can fix, though.
But that's capitalism. That's ultimate capitalism. Who wants to take the job at what price?
I know. So the fix of that is, which I don't like, is kill immigration.
No, of course, kill immigration is stupid.
I know, but that's the fix that you have to give it. In politics, you give a little to get a little. And right now, there's a group of people that are upset.
The H-1Bs aren't upset.
Of course they're not. They're happy to be an American and get paid. But an American engineer that should have gotten that job is upset. So you're disincentivizing American kids to stop going to engineering school and become engineers in America because there's no jobs for you. Because an immigrant can come and take your job for cheaper. That's
capitalism.
But I understand that. But I'm telling you from a political standpoint, if you don't play the game of like, okay, let's clean that up a little, because I don't want no immigration. But if you just play that line in the sand, Bernie Sanders doesn't want any H-1B.
I saw Bernie posted that.
Yeah, he's not.
My question is, why isn't the answer? Look, things have changed. Now there's a global market for engineers, and that has lowered the starting salary. And now the Princeton kid has to take 180 instead of 275, and it's free market.
I think here's the fundamental problem with that. The Princeton kid paid $300,000 for his education. The Indian kid paid $50,000 for it, $20,000.
So that's
for
a
his
Princeton
education.
problem now.
I agree.
Yes.
But I'm saying like
if the market truly works itself out, the problem is the cost of Princeton.
I know, but like I'm going to tell you, there's a race element to this that you have to take into consideration. At the end of the day, my skin is fucking brown.
Yeah.
I am not a white person in this country. This country is still a white country. If I'm making policy for this, I'm giving a little here to continue my people to succeed. right? Like there is a law that can be made that makes it feel fair for American engineers. If at the end of the day, 10 years from now, Native American kids do not want to go to engineering school and we do not have a supply of engineers, that's fine. Give all the jobs to H-1B visa kids. I'm just saying optically, as a person that could be affected by this, just visually affected, not financially in any way, visually affected, I would come to the table with the solution. Because what I saw with Indian people, specifically on social media, they got very defensive and they started being aggressive and they started attacking. I'll tell you, from any minority group that has ever done that in this country, it has fucking backfired. It is backfired. You go the other way. We saw what's happened in the last 5 years. Everything backfired.
So I think what's changed with Indians, with the new generation, which is our generation, who are now in our 40s and been in business for 20 years, is we're not like our parents' generation, which was a shut up and dribble. And now the Indians in our generation are empowered to have a voice because they've born in America and they've, they didn't need to assimilate. They didn't need to assimilate. They're Americans, right? They're American citizens from birth.
Yeah.
And that's why you see this like Indian kind of backlash, and they're not even affected.
No,
they're talking about the immigration skilled laborers, which Elon believes in, Trump believes in.
Yeah.
Everyone believes in it.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
It's funny that Bernie's the one that doesn't believe in it.
Because they're a crackhead party.
Yeah.
They're literally the party of crackheads. They have the dumbest policies. They know nothing about what's the future of America.
Yeah.
They're literally, I cannot believe how stupid that party has become. The fact that Donald Trump is supporting H-1B visa immigration to get skilled labor into this country, and Bernie Sanders is not, tells you where... there was a point I think Dee brought up on one of the pods that, he goes to all over the country, right? You're in every state. And so I was in Utah the last 3 days. They were yelling slurs at you?
But that's the point. What I'm saying was that we would have been the most targeted group to get racially kind of profiled, whatever, get racially slurred and I'm telling you, everyone was unbelievably nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that that's a real reflection of the world anymore. Yeah. I think it's a psyop.
It's a psyop.
Dee, can I just ask, or both of you guys, one more question? Because I truly don't understand this issue. I haven't looked at it at all, the H-1B thing, but why? How are the Indians coming from India that are on H-1B visas getting trained?
They're getting educated in India primarily.
Right. So isn't the core problem that this expensive ass, fancy ass Princeton degree is no longer competitive in the market?
No. So it is competitive. And the thing is
meaning the cost of it.
Yeah.
You can get it in India.
So here's how.
What if all the white people went to India to get an education and they took all the Indians in India?
You might as well. It's cheaper.
Here's how the system.
You should reverse engineer the fucking privilege. Go get the cheap education and the fucking American salary.
The system, how it typically works, and this is the easiest way to become a Google engineer, Facebook, Amazon, Apple. You go to do your undergrad in India, or if you're from India, and then you go to a graduate school in America.
Yeah.
So it could be USC, Arizona State, Berkeley, Stanford. It doesn't even have to be a tier 1 school. It could be anyone.
Yeah, most of the H1s are in tier 2, tier 3 schools.
Right.
And then they're in the lottery to get a visa to be able to work. And the lottery has just been reduced.
So I'm not disagreeing. To be honest, I'm not even sharing an opinion because I don't have one yet. But I'm just saying, if I really try to if we know this, try to get to the root of the actual problem, it's that the cost of getting this degree in America is no longer competitive. And the expectation of what it means to go to Princeton is no longer competitive.
Yeah. So I think that's the beginning part of it. And I think the second part of it is the people that have benefited the most from this are the most profitable companies on earth, right?
Yeah.
And there is a wage issue in this country. And these companies are so smart, the Googles, the Teslas, the Microsofts. If they know they can fill 1,000 jobs at $75,000 a year less, a little bit stock less, a little shittier health insurance,
Right.
you're talking about saving billions of dollars a year because of the immigration policy.
But I'll also
But don't
say,
you think if there's a group that's good enough at it, that's willing to do it, like
so
it's just sort of like, I don't know, like ultimate, like we keep talking about like freedom and free and, like, I don't know. Anything that.
So then I think then you should do that for all immigration and all job categories. So if like a restaurant can operate with lower minimum wage, if they're an illegal immigrant from, El Salvador,
Right.
then let the restaurant take advantage of it. Why is it only Google and Tesla?
Because
And
you're talking about
that's
illegal
happening,
immigrant
though.
versus.
That's happening though.
No, but you have to still pay them the legal minimum wage. I'm talking about give them an illegal minimum wage.
They'll pay him cash.
Yeah, that happens all day long.
But even that market is still pretty premium. It's not. You're not. I'm just saying, like the companies are benefiting it the most.
Yeah, but I do believe a independent restaurant, it will pay under the table under market.
Yeah, one
And not
restaurant.
pay
If you have
payroll
one
ta-
location.
Yeah, if you have
But
like
also,
10,
like, what
no, you
happens
can't do
with
that?
if there is a future coming where a lot of, let's just say, coding jobs and those things are taken by AI, that's going to wipe out an entire segment of people.
Oh,
What are we gonna do
that
about that?
happens. Indians are gone.
So here,
There will be an Indian restaurant in all of America.
so what I wanted to point out is that this H-1B social media rants that have been going on, it affects 10,000 jobs max in America.
No more than that.
50?
I don't know how many H-1B visa current actual people are.
No, taking tech jobs.
But how
away
many
from-
H-1Bs are there a year? Do you know?
We
We
could
should go
Google
look
it.
that up.
But anyways, what the Ohio steel worker is worried about and then sees this like, oh, these fucking Indians are taking our jobs. They're not taking your jobs.
Right.
Because Indians are pussies. They're not taking any steel jobs.
But that's what's the conversation has become.
Yeah, it's because that's the problem. How many?
65,000?
65,000. We have
So what
400 million
percentage
people
are
in
tech?
America.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah.
just a hot topic. It's just anytime you spark people up on the idea of immigration and taking jobs and
Yeah.
skilled labor
And I think-
versus, everyone's going to get
And
involved.
I think, look, if it was like Swedish immigration engineers.
Yeah, it's a color issue.
Yeah, it is. It's a race issue. And by the way, like, I'm not fucking offended. I don't think it's a big issue. I get the game. I play the fucking game all day.
I actually don't get offended by it. I just think America's being dumb about it.
I think
Like, to advance American technology with as fast as everything is going, we're in a war with China.
Yeah.
Get the best talent.
yes. I think that is when Trump said it. I think America figured it out. And then all this other fucked up shit happened, so no one cares about Indians anymore.
Or you just blow
Like,
up a
whatever.
Cybertruck
That was
and
like 1
whatever, yeah.
week.
Yeah,
It was probably
like
an
1
Indian
week.
who planned the PSYOP, the Cybertruck. Like, yo, we need to get the
That
heat.
makes sense.
That's a good psyop. That's a good psyop.
Indian psyop. Oh
Sri
my
Ram
God.
fucking set up the Cybertruck. You want to know something really interesting? I don't want to like go too deep here, but like meaning I don't want to sidetrack too hard. But when I went to Ohio for Christmas for the listeners. And one thing I just took a look at, because Ohio is where I'm from, which is Akron, which is outside of Cleveland, is just not moving forward. Like as like there's not a lot popping up. There's not new buildings being built. There's not new fancy new apartment complexes, all that stuff. Same in Cleveland. And I just took a quick look at the brief history of Cleveland and Akron, and Cleveland was built on the steel industry. Yep. And Akron was built on the rubber industry and tires, and starting all the way toward Henry Ford times. And both of those industries left completely. And those cities never filled in with new industries. And so what you have in that whole northern section of Ohio is generations of people now that have lived with a story of jobs going away. And it's really interesting to see people that since they were kids, and really like it's now, your parents or even your grandparents, since they were kids, have been forgotten about. The area has been forgotten about. And it's just interesting to, we always talk about living in our bubble. And then when you go back there and really start looking around and kind of asking questions about it, that's why there's so much like deep generational anger of like jobs being lost or taken in certain areas. It's really interesting to
me. That is a mindset shift that needs to happen in new leadership. So I'll give you an example. I'm not joking. Probably once a month, I get hit up by a representative, a very senior representative from a foreign country that will give me obscene incentives to open an office there.
Yeah.
Singapore.
Right.
3 Middle East countries have hit me up. South America. And they're like, we will pay for your office. We will give you zero tax. We'll help you staff it. We'll help you incorporate here. What do you need to move here? So I took one of the calls with someone in the Middle East.
Yeah. Just for fun?
Maybe not for fun. We're going to be a global company, and I know we're going to have offices everywhere. So I was like, all right, what do you got for me? Free office space. Zero tax. Help us incorporate. Like, it was like a real package where when I'm ready, I'm giving that woman a call and I'll be like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this. And I think when I think about Ohio and I think about Akron and I think about Cleveland and I think about Detroit, I think about these kind of in what you said, like in these forgotten cities that were, Cleveland was once the second biggest city in America.
Right. And Detroit was also top 3.
Yeah. This is kind of the cities that built the country. I think it's a failed leadership, and it was an arrogance that what we had was defensible.
Yeah.
If I'm, the mayor of Cleveland or Akron, the manufacturing industry is not coming back, right?
Right.
Not to what it was. Maybe it comes back in some small way. Yeah. But why not? And the interesting thing about Ohio is Ohio has a lot of really great colleges and a lot of young, smart people.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in Ohio, you run one of these big towns, Columbus, Akron, Cleveland. You guys have a budget. Right. Roll out the red carpet and say, hey, small business, Ghost, you want to come here? Right. We will pipeline.
I think it's a very, very easy problem to solve.
Right.
But the politics is the problem.
Yeah,
so it's similar to how.
Remember when Amazon, AOC went in on Amazon
exactly.
for
in New York,
fuck,
and then they didn't come.
And how many jobs they would have created, and how much income would have been to the bodega, to the deli sandwich, to the everywhere.
It's politically really dangerous to do that. What you're saying, D.
But I'm actually
which is why we're stuck. It's like, why are we stuck? That's why we're stuck.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful in this administration. What it's doing is putting a light on all the inefficiencies in the government, where everyone's asking questions like, what did we pay $40 billion for broadband in rural areas and we got nothing?
Right.
Why did we spend all this money on EV chargers and we got nothing? And so you have the budget, we have the money. Let's start putting it to work to actually help our people. Right. And I think that's going to happen. Because what's going to happen, it's going to trickle down. All the shit that's happening in the federal level, the local level, people are now like, Where the fuck is that house you promised for the homeless people? Where the fuck is that school that you promised for all our kids? Where's the bathroom that you were going to fix in the park? That's what's happening in a microcosm in every community. And I am actually pretty hopeful that it will happen pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's just what really, to tie it all together, that's what made me realize that the issue of immigration and taking jobs is a very tender, tense issue in the country. And the sad thing is we do need H-1B skilled worker. Of course, absolutely we do. But the way that you address that, I think, is very, unfortunately, you got to be delicate.
Since you were in Ohio a couple of weeks ago, if you were to tell them, family, friends, that feel, I don't like this kind of happening, and you just say, like, what if whatever the nicest building in Columbus or Akron or Cleveland, and you said, if one of these cities gave free office space to a company that's not from here, but will employ people from Ohio State, University of Ohio, all the colleges that are there, how would they push back?
Yeah, so I don't want to, family, if you listen to this, I'm not speaking for you. I don't know. Maybe they'd be all for it. I think a common response would be, oh, just more free stuff for big corporations and rich people. Why don't they come here and pay taxes like we do, like everyone else does? You can't, there's an inability to kind of see the long game. And so what happens is, just like Amazon in New York, the big companies say, okay, never mind then. And for the record, I do want to say Columbus is a really good example of a place that has kind of figured it out. I don't know if it's because of OSU or what, but Columbus has a lot of really great businesses. It's a really great city. It must be because of Ohio State. But Akron and Cleveland are very, very, very different.
I think Ohio State has something to do with it. I think from my time I went there 2 years ago now, I felt that there are people that pridefully are starting business in Columbus.
Yeah.
Like literally tech companies I met with. And I think they have a certain view of the world that's different than where you may meet someone in Akron and Cleveland that feels a little bit more bitter. Yeah. Or Columbus feels more optimistic.
But that must be like the education of Ohio State mixed with, because there's just young
people. I think young people.
But think about it. There's young people in both other cities. They're just, what is the difference? I was trying to figure that out. The only thing I could come to was Ohio State.
So
that's fine.
I'd love
IO.
I'd love the opinions of both of you guys, because UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, they figured it out on a very small scale. And how can you scale this up? So what they basically did was said, we're taking care of all of our citizens at the Emiratis, which is a very small population. So it's tough because, in the US, there's tons.
Yeah.
And they basically subsidize their entire life. You get a house when you get a family, your education's free, healthcare's free, everything's free. And then they brought all the rich people in and built this like fantasy land.
Right. But also extreme policing.
Yeah.
Everything's safe. Everything is very you don't act out.
Racism is number one. You have to. It is a racist, surveilled state. In our country, do you understand how people feel offended by everything? They just shoot you in the face there.
Yeah,
they're also 100%. Very religious. Here you give a little stimmy and everyone just does fraud and goes and buys fucking Lambo Uruses.
If you go to Dubai, one of the nice restaurants, you're not even seeing a Arab person.
I know, but you understand what you're giving up to live in those countries. It's different. It's not freedom.
So
you
I guess people aren't people. That's the issue.
Right.
I would give up that to live that life. I would do that here. Right. If you told me that I need to shut the fuck up.
No, but in Ohio, would a steel worker that's been unemployed for 10 years and going broke, would he give up his freedoms to just basically have everything subsidized?
No.
He won't.
It's America.
No, that's the problem. Is it's a totally different. You have to take a different approach because the culture is so different.
Because Singapore's the same in a much lesser like restrictions.
Yeah,
but the restrictions are very severe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a totally different culture. We need a unique solution because our culture is very unique.
The one part of our culture that is flawed that I do think is going to start seeing improvement in this administration is there is so much waste in our federal government.
Yeah.
And if we took that waste and turned it into subsidies for people's healthcare, people's education, you will have a better society. And I think, I know everyone thinks, MAGA, but if people don't even, if you've never worked with the federal government, you have no idea how much money is being wasted. It's a fucking joke.
Oh, I bet if you really looked at it, it is unfathomable.
And that has nothing to do with the Republicans or Democrats. It's just bureaucracy of running.
That's the real deep state.
Yeah.
That's what Jeffrey Sachs said.
Yeah.
The
that
political.
Makes sense. Yeah.
He said that's deep state.
But now you have a guy with Donald Trump who has nothing to lose. His biggest backer, Elon Musk. You can't fucking beat him. You're not going to beat him. He won. He won in life. He's going to fucking crush everyone. They're going to be like, yeah, it's $2 trillion. Cut it.
I had a friend who had a conversation with a very small part of the Defense Department. So obviously the Defense Department's like 800 billion, I think, annually.
It's almost $1 trillion now.
And he had a conversation with my friend, your friend too, and said, I have $25,000 a week to spend. I can't even spend it, but I have to spend it. Find me some way to spend it. No, for like products or whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't need it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just said, and that's a minuscule.
And that's my
that's
point
probably
is that
nothing compared to.
I think if American citizens truly understood the bureaucracy and the waste of the federal government, and then we tie it back to what you're talking about with the Emiratis, how they've subsidized education and healthcare. Just so everyone knows, we could pay for healthcare for every single person in this country.
Easy.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Do you know how much money we blew on the vaccines? Blew.
And
Blew on
the vaccines.
Blow job vaccines. Do you know how much we spent?
Yeah.
We could have paid for healthcare for fucking 10 years for every American.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
We got ripped off. They're paying like $250 a jab.
That's why I'm saying the bureaucracy is the deep state. It's not the psyops. It's the bureaucracy.
I think it might be both.
It is part of the side.
I'm just saying we should be open to it being both. I think that, I think it might be both. But I agree. I think that is the single most important, like, American government issue is how and where and what we spend. I think if we honestly could solve that, even if Elon and them can put like a dent in it, it could change the whole. We don't have to be the UAE or whatever. Like, it would be such a dramatic change.
We're too far gone. I think if we came out of this next 4 years gutting a few $1 trillion out of the budget, there's going to be mass unemployment from government jobs that will get repurposed over time. I'm very confident of that. And I think we take all of that new funding and this new mentality of being more efficient, and we fucking give everyone free healthcare.
Yeah.
We give everyone a free college education.
So think about the chaos near term that creates.
Yes.
So
it could be very ugly the next 5 years. Very ugly. There could be 10 million jobs lost. 10 million. But it's better for our children. We have to make a serious change.
They probably should just do a severance package to all the government employees.
That's what Elon said. Elon and Vivek said that. They're like, we will give everyone a severance. But
that's how you could cure the
severance. What is a fair severance for a government employee that does not show up to work and does nothing? What's your opinion?
To not create unrest in society?
Yeah.
18 months?
18 months?
12 months?
Dude, you are a fucking crazy socialist.
It's nuts. 6 months.
1 year. I'll give you 1 year.
So we met
I
in
think
the
a
middle.
year. Yeah, I think a year.
I think 1 year, and you say you fucking fat, lazy piece of shit.
Why are they fat?
Because they're not working.
Right. They're not
They might
going to
be
the
working
office.
out then.
They're not
No,
going to
they're
the
not.
office.
I'm sorry. They need, if you give them 1 year, if you cannot in 1 year retrain yourself to get another job, all good.
I agree.
Here's where the chaos actually starts, because I think with what's going on with all the AI products, Gemini, Grok, XAI, OpenAI.
These guys are toast. If we actually use AI,
we're basically going to eliminate all the white collar jobs and the government jobs. Then what happens to the country?
no, you know what happens? But tax revenue does not decrease. Who pays taxes in this country? The most of the tax revenue in this country comes from the rich, not from the poor. They just do not. So the tax revenue of the rich stays flat. We have enough money to offer subsidies so people can have a better quality of life. What is everyone's complaint in America right now? Shit's too expensive. I can't provide for my family. What if you had $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 trillion to subsidize healthcare, subsidize education? We are going to be a healthier, better country.
So if you're a senior at one of the top colleges in the country, it's pretty clear Bain and McKinsey are going to be extinct.
They won't be extinct.
The senior partner, the senior partners with the relationships with the companies will always exist.
Yeah.
But the analysts,
not all of those. You still need some people to do the work. Partners don't do work.
Of course, they're just the golfing.
Okay, but someone needs to prompt the AI.
Okay, so you could eliminate probably 75% of the jobs.
I would say, comfortably 50% in the near term.
So if you're a very, smart person at one of these universities, that's always the dream. You go to McKinsey, Bain, whatever, Goldman, Morgan Stanley.
Yeah.
Are they changing their mentality right now? I would love to know, because I don't know any college kids.
Not yet. I know a lot of college kids. They're not. But what I do know is that in the very, very near term, if you take kids who are 3-4 years younger, I think they kind of understand a little bit more. I think the senior today is still applying for the same jobs because that shift hasn't happened. But I'm very optimistic. Kids are fucking smart.
Of course they are.
Right? Everyone wants to shit on Gen Z or the generation below. They're smart. What I think is going to happen, this is my prediction with this AI revolution, is that there's going to be tens of millions of new small businesses. If you look at what America was originally built on, it wasn't built on big business. It was built on small entrepreneurs. And then we went through this wave of things got really big, these big tech, big business. I think AI is going to make it easy for, I have an AI idea that I think could make someone, 1 to 2 people a living.
Mm-hmm.
I want to create an AI chatbot for summer camps in Los Angeles. If you have children in LA, you will know that getting your kid into a summer camp is like getting a reservation at Hotel Coast during Paris Fashion Week.
Really?
It's that fucking hard. If you do not, at the time the shit drops.
What kind of summer camp?
Every summer camp. Every hot camp.
But what's an LA summer camp like?
What's a hot camp?
Tumbleweed.
What does that mean?
What do you do? You go stay in cabins and
no,
run
it's
around?
not even. It's a day camp. It's from morning to night. So Tumbleweed releases their times. Boom, 12:01 a.m.
But they're doing similar to what they do in school?
No, they have different interest. If you're into drama, there's a drama camp. If you're into soccer, there's a soccer camp. If your kid's into outdoor, there's an outdoor camp. If your kid's into fucking music, there's a music camp. There's a bazillion camps.
So is the hack basically parents just want to keep their kids out of the house for the summer?
But it's not.
Keep
that's
learning.
not the hack. We went to camp. If you don't remember, we were at CSUN doing camps. We went to camps. We went to sports camps.
But there was no hustle. You just sign up.
No, yeah, but now there's too much demand. There's people have money. People didn't have money 30 years ago. Now they have money. And so today there's too much demand for all the camps. And so I was joking with my wife. I'm like, if there was an AI chatbot where you could put all the characteristics of your child, and then it says, here are the 5 camps that are best for your kid.
I mean, you could do that right now.
And then I know. And then, but you have to get a fucking spot too.
And the bot can get it.
Yeah. And then you pay a premium. This is where you make the ARB is, let's say the camp is $500. You say for $600, we'll guarantee you a spot in the camp.
This can all be solved in like
there's like
20
one
minutes.
really
I know.
smart.
I'm just saying that's what I believe the AI revolution is. Because you know what? There are 5,000 parents in LA that would pay a subscription fee for that chatbot for summer camps in LA only. And 1 to 2 people could make a living doing their summer camp chatbot.
But even on top of what you're saying, because obviously that's semi-niche because it's only rich people that would do that.
I know, but
from a corporation standpoint,
but it's a small business. That's the difference. You're forgetting about the dry cleaner, the shoe store. America was built on the neighborhood store, and this is a replication of that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what AI will give. You don't have to go solve search on the internet. If you could solve summer camps in LA and New York, you might become a millionaire.
That's a small business. But my point, if you look at...
No, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about small business.
But if you think about like either of your companies, if you could just pay Gemini, whatever their number is, and they give you a research report on the customers and industries that you're interested in. So like for Ghost, every week, give me an update on beauty.
But you still got to contact them. That's different. That's very, very different.
No, but to tell you what's trending, to know where to look.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what people pay tens
We're
of
already
millions
doing that.
of
Just
dollars.
so you know, we do that with AI right now.
Yeah,
and
that's my point.
Yeah.
But typically, 15 years ago, you would have spent millions of dollars to Bain and McKinsey to get that research.
I'm talking about the benefit of the displacement of the jobs. I'm talking about there's going to be a ton of small business opportunities. We're talking about...
No, I'm not saying...
but
I'm saying there's going to be entrepreneurs that are going to take advantage of the
millions.
technology.
I think it's going to be tens of millions. I think like if you are a woman in...
it's Shopify.
Yes, and I think it's on a scale that we cannot imagine because I think people are going to get so creative because what we've realized is in the fact that like we pay for Postmates, we pay for Lyft, we pay for Uber, we pay for all these conveniences, people will pay for anything. So like if you got it, would you pay $10 a month to find out what's the best high protein fucking burrito, whatever bullshit you eat now?
Yeah, I'd pay $10
like you
a
pay
month
for it,
almost
right?
anything.
And then they said we'll deliver one every Friday to you.
Yeah, sign me up.
For $10, would you do it? Yeah, why not? I'm just saying there's going to be this proliferation of small businesses that
the people who would have went to Bain are going to be the next creator of that thing.
And they'll make, if you went to Bain out of college, you make $150. If you become like a VP, you make $500K or whatever it is. I think you could do that with AI in the coming years. And we will not, but in the short term, Elon and Vivek are going to fucking gut the goddamn government, and there's going to be 10 million jobs gone. That's what I really think is going to happen, and we have to let them do it.
I don't think we have or have not to, but what they can actually cut is pretty limited.
I think they can fire a lot of people.
Defense, they can't cut
defense is
Social
only $1 trillion. That's nothing. Our budget's like 30 trillion.
The number that they can actually go after is 800 billion, and there'll be pushback on that.
Problem too is you'll have to give some benefits like right away, or else there's going to be riots in the streets. Meaning like, okay, what are you doing with all this saved money? Like instantly. Or else
what's interesting is public schools all over America are closing.
Yeah.
Because of low enrollment. Where's all that money going? Because property tax revenue isn't going down. Property tax revenue is what pays for public
bushings
schools.
For fucking Anand's defense.
And by the way, like
friend.
it's not like public school education is getting superior.
No.
So like, where is that money going? If I was running a district and I had 100 schools, and today I have 97.
Yeah.
Where's the money for those 3 schools going, and what are we getting out of it for our students?
Right. We're just wasting it on
I just
something
think there's
else.
a lot of bullshit.
There's so
definitely
much
is.
bullshit. We can't even comprehend it.
Yeah, I agree with. There's so much bullshit, and the problem is, which there's too many people that are eating off the bullshit. So how do you reconcile that?
No, but like you have a leadership now that doesn't need to pay. Look, here's the thing: is typically presidents were paid for by a political, influential, rich family, company, whatever.
Industry. Yeah.
Elon paid for this election, right? What is Elon's benefit? What does he want? EV subsidies?
No, he
less
wants
regulation.
It's a simulation. He just wants to run the world.
He's
Okay,
played
it's
it.
fun.
He
So
just
there you
beat
go.
a new level of Diablo.
It's a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Diablo.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. He's the number one
I
Diablo
think he
player in the
wants
world.
less regulation, and I think he wants to. I think he
Okay,
genuinely
so
wants to use his brain to make the country better.
Okay, so let's assume. Give me something more evil.
Okay, he wants to.
What's the worst he would want to do?
The
Fuck
problem is
every car company in America?
No, I don't think he cares about that.
Yeah, the problem is
He
I
knows
just-
he won. He knows he won that race.
Yeah.
I think he honestly believes the world's a simulation. This is a video game.
Okay, so
I
that
think he
is a
wants no
benefit to the
regulation to
American
get
people.
the government out of his way to be able to freely do whatever he wants with his businesses. That's
Look,
the worst.
okay, so-
That's the worst
I haven't
take I
played
can
video
give you.
games in 30 years,
Yep.
but it's probably like playing Mario Kart where you're like, how do I get to the next level?
Okay, so then if that's the case, we are in for an incredible ride, because if you told me like Pfizer bought this election, I'd be like, fuck.
Yep.
That's not good.
Yep.
If you had told me the Koch brothers, George Soros, or the Renaissance guy, or all the other people who have been politically motivated to buy elections, I would be very scared. You just told me the guy wants to play video games. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Play the fucking video games.
Yeah.
We are all going to benefit from that. That's my point, is that I don't think that like...
Yeah, I agree
let's
with
see.
you.
I honestly think I'm open to it, that if he can bring efficiency,
Yeah.
but there is a counterbalance that you have to
But he doesn't have to. The thing is Trump is not beholden to anyone. He's beholden to a guy who thinks this country's a video game. So if he thinks it's a video game, fuck it. In the video game, you shoot everyone and you win.
I just think, to Anand's point, like, you can go into Twitter and fire 10,000 people because it's still just 10,000 people. You just, when you do that with the government and there's
What
potential.
happens? Tell me.
I think
What
that
happens?
I think the risk is that I'm curious how they're going to navigate is a general, like, even if it's an irrational fear, like a fear in the country that millions of jobs are going to be lost and tens of millions. And like, how politics and fear and all this stuff works. It's not, if you're scared at Twitter, nobody cares. What are you going to do? Post a tweet and say, man, I love my job and I think they're going to come and fire me and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, let's say on January 21st, they go, okay, we just fired 3 million people.
Yeah.
Those 3 million people got 18 months severance.
Right.
I just think is ridiculous.
What you have to prepare for is every hour, every minute on CNN.
18 months.
And
They're also
MSNBC.
unemployable.
What?
They're also
Because they
unemployable.
never worked. Because
Right.
they're
That's
fucking
true.
fat,
That's the
lazy
problem.
idiots.
I'm just saying you have to prepare that every
No, but
minute
it's
of
a-
every day on CNN is saying, oh my God, Elon is coming for all of our jobs. We're all going to be poor. We're all going to be, there's so much spin that goes into all of this that you have
I know,
to
but
fight.
he's not running. Trump is not running another election, right? So you can make unilateral decisions that do not affect your future.
Yeah, but I think the
And
fear is
you-
like if people start marching in the streets and like it just is just pure chaos. I'm blowing up fucking things, and you know what I'm saying? Like
I know, but like, okay, so who's walking? DMV people? From what I can see, they don't walk. So there's no one walking in the streets.
I'm saying someone goes into a DMV.
Who's walking?
and all it takes is
government
one.
workers haven't been walking.
All
Did
it
you
takes,
guys-
all it takes is one DMV employee shooting up a DMV, and it's like, oh my,
They won't be
utter
there.
chaos.
They don't go there. They don't even show up to work.
They don't know where it is.
They don't even know where it is.
I think, just to be clear, D, I think you're right. I hope you're right. I have full optimism about the whole thing. I'm just more curious how they're going to pull it off, because it's a dirty game.
I'm being facetious on what I'm saying, but like I agree it's going to be very challenging, but I'm optimistic that can happen.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do with everyone that we fire, we're sending them to Greenland because we just own that shit now.
Oh, God.
I mean, what's going on with that? Are we buying that shit?
Yeah. We're taking it back.
No.
Yeah, of course.
Why do we want it?
Greenland is about to be the... If I was an Airbnb hustler, I'd be opening up an Airbnb hustle in Greenland because it's going to explode this year.
Is it national security? Why do we want it?
Why not?
Right. Okay. Fair.
Why the fuck not?
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's a big ass island.
But why does he want it? Why is he even bringing it up right now?
So what happened was it's under Denmark, and the prime minister of president, whatever, of Greenland was like, wants independence. But if they want independence, they still need security and money. They don't like have like a self-fulfilling ecosystem yet.
Right.
So they need a partner at the end of the day. And look,
here we are.
Trump jokingly said to Trudeau, Canada should be the 51st state. Trudeau is out of a job, by the way, the next 48 hours. He's resigning.
Yeah.
And I think you should all hitch a train to the US of A.
Right.
Canada should become a state. Greenland went, like a Puerto Rico situation.
Yeah. I'm up for it.
I guarantee you, Greenland, if it becomes America, you'll have an Amman, a Four Seasons, a fucking cruise.
Oh, yeah, you're kidding.
But the prime minister of Greenland has publicly said, we're not for sale.
Yeah, but
he is for sale. He needs money.
He's posturing.
He's 100% for sale. He has to say that to save his ego.
That's also could be a negotiating tactic.
They have no economy.
You don't just say, yeah, take me.
Yeah.
You say, no, we're not for sale. How much you talking? What are we talking about?
Yeah, then Trump comes in and says, okay, we're going to build a Tesla plant in Greenland.
Yeah, can we get some of those drones you guys got in New Jersey? Can you fly some of those over here?
Marketing for Trump, but that's not going to happen.
Why not? We used to take over shit all the time.
Let's get back to it.
I just don't think. I think this is just Trump MAGA. I have to say it right now.
Thank you.
MAGA talk.
Well, MAGA's hot.
Yeah. I'm up for it. Look, I'm up for just even the spirit of it, even if it doesn't happen. I like the bold American speak.
If Greenland was part of America, I'd go visit.
Yeah.
Why not? What are you doing this weekend? I'm hitting Greenland.
Cheap flights, super easy, no passport needed.
Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
Spirit to Greenland, 17 stops. I have no idea where Greenland is, by the way.
I don't know.
If I had a gun to my head and you said, where is Greenland? I have no idea. I think it's near Antarctica.
Let's just look it up because I actually don't know.
To the right somewhere.
Up and to the right. We want that in America.
Yeah, right. It's just like the
Where are you going? I'm going up and to the right. Oh, you're hitting Greenland this summer?
Yeah, exactly. Canada. Yeah, it's up.
It's north of Canada?
No, it's to the right of Canada.
Yeah, to the right of Canada. Northeast? East of the northeast of America.
Yeah, it's way up there. Oh, that is oddly like kind of protects us. Like I heard an argument that was a security argument, and it does it's an additional like barrier to Russia.
Nice little base there, a little nuclear base.
Well, no, it furthers your land on ocean. I know what you're saying, Drama.
Right. Yeah. But it's crazy to me how this. Yeah.
And it feels safe. Green land.
Yeah. Yes. It's literally just in between us and Russia. Like it's a really good little extra, defensive linebacker here.
Do you remember the Mighty Ducks 2 quote when they were playing Iceland?
Yeah.
And the Iceland person was like, Iceland is actually very green and Greenland's very ice.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the idiot kids on the team.
No, it was the like female counterpart.
On Iceland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm into this. We should take it. This shit's big.
I think we should definitely take it.
This shit's big, dude. It is.
And I would love a
Antarctica.
subsidy, no income tax.
You can move there.
Goes Greenland.
Yeah, you
Greenland's
could.
ice, though. I need to move to Iceland because green.
That's true. That's true. What do we want to do? Do we want to wrap it?
Let's do some shout outs. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do we got?
In the YouTube comments, great hits on your recap and very cool to hear your predictions for 2025 and reasons to support them. Very much looking forward to 2025 and listening to this pod all year. Buckle the F up. We're going to Mars. Woo! I like that. At mhoyt925. At Keith Dunham. Welcome to the MAGA podcast. This used to be good, but only politics now.
Hey,
USA.
dipshit, it's the fucking election time. You
Yeah,
moron.
come on.
Jesus, Keith. Let us live. Well, now we're going to dial it down for 4 more years, and then we'll talk about it a lot again.
Yeah.
Keith,
Go
to
from
Greenland.
Sean. Hey, I need to give a shout out to Drama and D. Drama inspired me to get into fashion way back in the Fantasy Factory days as he was launching Young and Reckless, and I was mowing lawns to save up to buy design software. And I met D years ago in Seattle and showed him some designs that he actually liked and gave me the confidence to follow through and launch my brand. Clothes by Graham. We're closing out 2024 with our second straight year of over $1 million in revenue and going all in for $2 million in 2025. Also,
Nice.
My bold prediction for 2025 is Drama will post one thirst trap on IG.
A thirst trap?
I feel like it's happening with those fucking
my
deadlift
workout.
or whatever those are called.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, man. I'm an athlete now. What can I say?
I got called out by someone that you must know
Who?
on whoever posted your last deadlift. It
Yeah.
was like, we need him to come and go one-on-one with Anand. Whoever the trainer was that was telling you, jump on the clean lift or whatever the fuck you were doing.
Is it Chris? Chris D.
The
Wong?
comment was a guy named Patrick. The post, I don't know who the post was from, but it seemed like the post was a trainer.
Oh, well, the post was either Dylan, a guy named Dylan, or Chris. I don't know. I'll look. Was it today?
Okay. Yeah, I got notified today.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, from James. I want to take a moment to give a heartfelt shout out to 3 incredible people. First and foremost, my amazing partner, Rebecca. She recently brought our daughter into the world, accomplishing one of the most awe-inspiring and downright badass things I've ever witnessed. I'm in absolute awe of her strength and grace. Next, our newest addition, Ellie. I've never been so in love. She's already transforming the way I see the world. I can't wait to watch her grow. And finally, D, a few years ago, you gave me advice that has stuck with me. Work your ass off, make money, and when your kids come, spend time with them, not your business. Thank you for that wisdom. It means more than ever. Shit, I should follow that.
I love that he shouted out his wife, his new daughter, and you. You're in pretty good company there.
You're part of the family.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to help watch Ellie anytime you want. I'm good with kids.
Yeah, that's great
All right,
advice.
Kathy's.
I have a shout out.
Okay.
Ryan McKelman. He's a listener, longtime listener. We've been DMing for years about random topics. He's a pro skier, performance skier. He's based in Park City. I was there for a birthday the last 3 days. And
30 days?
I said 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Take that out too.
No, that's funny.
I was
Leave
there.
that.
I was there the last 3 days, and he is obviously a native of Park City and incredibly generous. Took me around the mountain, made sure I was safe.
Nice.
He took
Why, because you were Indian?
probably,
He thought you
There's
were...
all those racists out there.
Yeah.
and he literally trailed me on runs and made sure that
Who's going on the ski lifts? I heard Park City is a disaster.
well, we had instructors, so
You're allowed to go in a different lane.
different lane, but it wasn't bad. I think that's Vail.
It's not Park
The-
City.
all,
lines?
like all the
Well, Vail Resorts owns the company. They're the...
so there's a huge strike going on with
Yeah.
the ski patrol.
So
Over
there was not
$2 an
lo-
hour.
Yeah, but there's not lines in Park City?
There were lines, but it was typical lines that you would see at a ski resort.
Lines are typical, like more than like 5 minutes.
They probably would have been 15 if you didn't have an instructor taking you.
What I saw on Instagram.
Yeah, well, the social media made it seem like it was hours.
Yeah, it was like Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And anyways, Ryan and his buddy Nate, separate from taking me around, they tailed the whole birthday party and made sure, because the hardest, easiest way to get injured.
You don't know how to ski?
What's that?
Your crew didn't know how to ski?
Everyone's intermediate at
Okay.
best. No one's like an expert.
You guys are wasted.
No. No one's wasted.
Okay.
It sounds
A group that
it sounds like
doesn't
you
drink.
needed a chaperone.
Yeah. And he was a chaperone. No, because a lot of people get injured when the snowboarder comes and hits you or another skier. So they were just literally
Security.
tailing like FBI.
Security. After New Orleans, you guys were concerned. You wanted your own security. I get it.
Right.
But anyways, very thankful to them. They're in Tokyo for the next 19 days.
Are they in Niseko? Skiing?
They're doing that in Sapporo and Tokyo. They're just hanging. But there you have a whole brand deal where they're filming content.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
What's the brand?
I mean, he said some guy with 100 Instagram followers DM'd him and said, I want to build a resort out here
Wow.
and I need content.
Okay. Hopefully it's not a sex slave.
It's good content.
That's
Need
content
some
too.
of those Diddy tapes. Oh shit. Okay, well,
yeah,
shout
Utah
out to
Utah doesn't have the Cloud9 situation.
Really? There's nothing at the top there?
right?
It's not like,
I've never gone skiing. I've only gone to hang out.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, their liquor laws are very strict.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not good at drinking.
They're not
out
fucking
there.
around.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jehovah.
Well, it's Mormon.
Yeah,
It's not
Jehovah.
But anyways, thank you guys for, hopefully you guys
But it's
listen
not Jehovah
to
Witness.
Tokyo.
What am I talking about? It's
It's
nothing to do with that.
Mormon. You were just thinking
What's
Jehovah.
that guy's name?
'cause-
Adam Smith? What's his
Jesus.
name?
Right. Right. Okay, we did it, right?
Yes.
All right.
Well
Everyone
done.
have a great week. First week back. We'll see you on
Let's
Wednesday.
fucking go.
Let's fucking go. American
2025.
exceptionalism. Bye, guys.